Welcome to the latest edition of the Campaign Doctor. One of the buzzwords I often encounter is targeting. This idea that you can micro-target your way, mostly on social media, to just get the few votes you need to win. As you can tell, I'm highly skeptical. Let me explain you why. Number one, I think that the technological tools that are available to do that are not as formidable as we assume. Yes, there are analytics, but I'm always impressed how blindly people trust those statistics. Once you know that about half of every click online is by mistake, once you factor in all the middlemen, the trading, and the click farms, there is actually good reason to doubt those statistics, or at least not to blindly trust them. Number two, we generally assume that the more tailor-fitted a message is, the more convincing it will be for a voter. But that's not necessarily the case. In fact, I read an interesting study the other day in the Harvard Journal of Press and Politics that actually showed that there is a turning point. Once a message is becoming all too tailor-fitted, it turns voters off. And third, and that might actually be the most important reason, I think that when you pay too much attention to data and analytics and algorithms and models, it takes focus away from your overall campaign message. In fact, I think it undermines the punch of your main campaign message. I remember that I read this article on how Democrats in the last election were trying to target Polish American voters in Pennsylvania. They clearly lost the state. And to me, at the time, it was actually an early warning sign that you're getting lost in the data. This year alone, I've won probably more than 10 election campaigns, and most of them, the party or the politician was a mass product. Yes, there are exceptions. If you're operating in a proportional system for a smaller party, then maybe that party is really a niche product. But very often that's not the case. Politicians or parties are a mass product and need to appeal to plenty of voters to win. Now think about it. How many mass products do you know that micro-targeted their way to becoming a mass product? Not that many. In fact, Coca-Cola, Nike, Adidas, they all became a mass brand through mass advertising. Now, that said, yes, of course, you do need a targeting strategy. You need to know who you want to reach. Equally important, you need to be aware of who you don't want to reach. But broad categories are really enough to do that. In other words, don't get lost in the details, and don't forget to see the forest instead of analyzing each and every individual tree. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.